Hello and welcome to another installment of our podcast. My name is Juan, here once again with Marc and Kevin, and we like movies. And tonight we are about to embark on a highway to the danger zone as we review the sequel that everyone's been talking about and we've all been
Nobody
waiting
asked
for.
for.
Perhaps I was gonna say perhaps the sequel that no one expected, but yet it's here in all its fantastic glory. It is Top Gun Maverick. It was hand selected by Kevin Alvarez. Kevin, I almost doxed you there, Kevin, and um, it is a 2022 film directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring none other than Mighty Mouse himself. What's this guy's name? Tom Cruise.
Timothy Cruz.
And it is continuing the story of Maverick, whose real name I believe is Pete Mitchell. Maverick, of course, is his call sign, or maybe not Mitchell, but his name's Pete.
No, it's Mitchell.
Oh, okay. Call sign Maverick, a fighter pilot in the Navy. Give you a quick rundown of what's taking place in this movie. As always, remember that we do go into details which include spoilers. So if you are one of the few people left who have not seen this movie yet, maybe go see it and then come back. But we pick up in the narrative of Pete's life. He has not been able to advance because he's always, getting into trouble, doing things he's not supposed to be doing. When we first run into him, he's flying a plane when he's not supposed to be flying it, trying to, go faster than any man has ever gone. Anyway, he quickly gets recruited back to Top Gun, the flight school, in order to actually not necessarily teach flight, but to lead a young group of fighter pilots into a almost a suicide mission to destroy some uranium, if I'm not mistaken, a base where they're stockpiling uranium somewhere in the Middle East. Included within this group is his ex partner's son, Rooster, the son of Goose, who, as we all know, passed away tragically in the original film. And there's some drama and tension there, but the big question is, will Maverick be able to pull it together and lead this group of young pilots into a successful mission, or does tragedy await? Kevin, go.
Okay. A fun sequel. We watched Top Gun the day before we watched Top Gun Maverick, and yeah, it was enjoyable. I just put down my notes and I was like, you know what? I just want to watch this movie. I'm like, didn't know where some parts were a little predictable, other parts were quite entertaining. I'm like, all right, I don't know where this is going. I just want to enjoy this, and that's what I can say. It was fun. I got more notes, but we'll go into that
Is this the intro that you told us you were carefully rehearsing?
No. I was trying to write down. As I said, I'm trying to stall because I'm writing it down, and then you just jumped into it. So I was like, okay, here we go. I don't get time to finish my intro. But I don't think I can outdo your Danger Zone intro. So
okay. Well,
Sorry.
Whoa! When did Kenny Loggins join the chat?
Maybe I've been
Welcome, Kenny. Well, yeah. No, but like I said, I have a lot of notes, but like I just don't want to do it in the intro because, like I said, it was fun. There was just really good things about it that I liked, and
Wow,
yeah,
if the rest of your notes are as exciting as that one, I cannot wait.
listen, listen.
All
Yeah.
right, I'll go next. I'll go next.
All right.
This is pure and simple a Tom Cruise movie. If you like Tom Cruise and you like his movies, you will like Top Gun Maverick. That's all I got.
Juan,
Perfect.
go.
Yeah, I will say, I definitely am a big fan of the original. And I thought this was a good sequel. It had in my neck of the woods, it had an immense amount of hype behind it. This is I guess, yeah, for all of us, we were actually pretty late to this one. It's still in theaters.
Hmm.
It's been killing it. So, everyone was saying, "Oh my gosh, it's an amazing movie, best movie of the year, blah blah blah." So, I went into it like, dude, I was so hyped, so excited, and it was good. I mean, it wasn't, "Arr," which we reviewed a few episodes ago. That movie, that was really excellent.
Wait,
Um,
wait. You were saying RRR?
yeah.
Arr.
I thought you were trying to do the Tim Allen. R, 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 R.
No, man, talking about the movie we
My bad,
reviewed.
my bad.
Uh,
My fault, my fault. I was
yeah.
like, yeah.
No. But yeah, I mean, great cinematography. I definitely love the sort of throwbacks to the original and even to 80s, even 90s style blockbusters. Um, Obviously, the flight sequences and the action was amazing. But I think some of the characters and some of the dynamics, some of the sort of things going on with the plot, they felt a little flat for me with characters and dynamics that weren't fully fleshed out. So yeah, so it fell short a little bit for me in that end, but still great. Definitely a great popcorn flick, and enjoyable.
So I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out there now. I've never seen Top Gun.
What? How is that even a thing? Did you intentionally avoid it?
Yes, because I figured how good can a movie about jets be? They're not transforming, so I'm good. So yeah, I've never seen it, and I can say there were parts where like I literally said out loud, bro, you had to have seen the first one to understand what's happening right now. And then they threw in the tidbits from the first movie, and I went, mwah, thank you, beautiful, perfect. But yes, I have never seen Top Gun.
Well, the irony there is that, you're a lifelong New York Jets fan. That's kind of ironic,
Well,
but
it's another thing that really is useless. Jets,
I
they don't do anything.
but I mean, for me, it's like, dude, you got the ocean, you got aircraft carriers, you got
You got
people in
water, you got
you got
air, you
you
got
got
land.
no you got people in uniforms, you have freaking fighter jets. Like, that's all I need right there, and my testosterone is just spilling out of my ears at that point.
I don't know. I feel like this is a whole nother podcast, but I've never seen Casablanca. I've never seen Shawshank Redemption. I've never seen Dirty
Wait, where you
Dancing.
going? Top Gun is not definitely not up there with those.
No, but it's one of those popular movies.
Yeah.
I've never seen Schindler's List. Like all those popular older movies that came out before I can watch a movie on my own, I haven't seen. and I just haven't had the interest to go and watch them because I know, like, I've seen so many, memes from Top Gun and, and from all these movies. It's like, I feel like I know what's going on. I know what happened. I don't really need to watch it. And I've never gone back to go and watch any older movie. And yeah, so when Kevin picked this, I said, great, because this forces me to watch it. Because I tried to go watch it, but it was just like, I never saw the first one. And it just kind of fizzled out. I heard it was cool, but again, it was just like, it's a movie about jets. How cool can it be? Um, bro, I like action. Like, I like fast pace, boom, boom, bow. You're in a jet. It's like, how much can you really do in a jet?
So you've never like had like you've never fantasized about like flying a jet and like being in a dogfight and freaking going so fast, and it's badass, man.
In space.
Oh, like Star
Not,
Wars?
yeah, not on Earth. I just
I can
think
say
of
no.
I think of unbelievable things. Like I feel like I could, if I really wanted to, I could attain the skill and the knowledge and the need to go fly a jet, in the next year. But that's just something that doesn't interest me. But I dream about cruising the planets, and it's because it's not attainable. It's not something that can happen.
Mhm.
I usually think outside of this world that I'm in. Um, so yeah, no, I've never thought about going into the army, but man, I thought about being dropship Halo ODST like all day, just unbelievable stuff.
Okay.
Um, so, but
Okay.
yeah, I feel like I'm already talking too much, so I'll let somebody go because I got some more
No,
loaded.
it's good. It's interesting, but
All
yeah,
right,
let's hear from Kevin.
yeah, let's do.
Listen, okay. Since we're gonna get back to the movie, what I do like about this movie is that again,
Yeah,
Juan has
sorry,
seen
we
it,
did
but
both
Mark
go ahead.
hasn't seen it. I like that it's a sequel, and it does seem like a direct sequel to Top Gun, but it seems like these characters actually lived a life in between. Because the whole time, like leading up to it, I thought Rooster was going to hate Maverick because his dad died and blamed him.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, then they reveal no, there's some other stuff that he had done that made Rooster get angry and like fractured their relationship. And
He kept them out of flight school.
yeah, the 4 years that that pushed him back 4 years. I'm like, I really thought that was good because that's when I started thinking about like that's when I put everything down. I was like, wow, there's more going on here than just hey, this is just a simple sequel. It did have to deal with this man out of time who was trying to figure out how to do anything, but he did, like Tom Cruise's character Pete doesn't know how to do anything but fly a plane. That's it.
Yeah,
Mm. He knows how to
And
make sweet love.
hell yeah.
with that too, and like I could have done without those because even in the first one, they're such leaps. Like they just leap from like, hey, no, we're just boom, and then hey, I'm in love with you. I'm like, all right.
So okay, so let me ask you: in the first movie, did anything ever come out of it, or was it just a lot of flirting? I love you, but like
No,
nothing came out of it.
there's a love scene.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
there's
is.
a love
Okay.
scene.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I feel like again, it's more like fleshed out throughout the film, and it's even like a twist. He hits on this girl at the bar. Next scene, you find out it's his instructor, and then she's constantly like battling with him in the classroom, but
Hmm.
then he like wins her over, and then shows his more vulnerable side, and then they end up like hooking up, and then she is afraid that as he goes off into real battle and whatnot, and it's like
Yeah.
it goes out throughout. So this plot and this story and this dynamic of this romance is played out through the entire film.
Yeah.
But Juan, have you seen Top Gun recently or no?
Yeah, fairly recently.
Because I felt when we watched it, like I felt like there was like again, like he meets her or whatever. It's like all right, and then she's like, it's just a leap from her just being like his instructor and being a little playful with him to like, oh, I don't want everyone to know how I feel about. I'm like, whoa, that came out of, like that. It just feels like there was a huge jump there in the
Yeah, I
original.
mean, I
So
agree.
that's why, yeah, and that's why I didn't feel so bad on this one because like at least they had a history before. Just
Yeah.
So
didn't see it.
in the first movie, Jennifer Connelly isn't just a bartender.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
she's
not.
not
It's
in the movie.
another lady.
Oh, in the first one. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she
Yes.
died in real life.
Oh,
No,
all
did
right.
she?
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think she was
No.
sick.
No, I read an interview that says she was too old to be invited back to it.
That's even worse. I'd rather.
She
That's
might as well.
terrible.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was could be mistaken then.
So there was
Yeah.
really nothing going on between him and Jennifer Connelly in the first movie?
No, she was not
No.
even in it.
Oh, so this was okay.
Yeah,
So
this is a new character they made up.
so that makes sense how they were just thrown together. There was no
Yeah.
actual okay.
Well,
Well,
That's
something
sweet.
happened, in
happened.
the 30 years.
But yeah, in the time between the first one and this one.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like you're saying that in the first one that story was more fleshed out,
Yeah.
and this one it's kind of like two dolls and it's like shoved together now kiss, you know.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's interesting that they would have a fleshed out story like that in the first one, and then come back into the second one and create a completely different character, and then just quickly go through
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
So
and
it's interesting.
I did get the sense that like sometimes they almost threw back to the original, but they were like definitely trying to
Like a homage to her character,
yeah,
since she couldn't be a
I
part of
think
it.
or just trying to avoid like redoing too much of the same thing. You know, like it's interesting that she owned a bar because the girl in the first film, like I mean, one of the most popular scenes is at the beginning. He like sings this song to her in the bar, and
Tom
so
Cruise's
like
character, he
yeah.
sings to the instructor.
Yeah, it's almost like a
Okay.
karaoke thing,
Oh, okay.
and it's like his
Oh, is
move.
that the flashback with Goose on the piano?
No, that was a
No,
Oh,
different
that's
that's later.
thing.
different. Oh,
That
okay,
was a
okay.
difference.
Same bar.
So yeah, it was like
Okay.
they were kind of toying with these things, but also avoiding like we're not going to do the same thing,
Yeah.
you know.
But they sort of did the same thing when the recruits threw Maverick out, and then they did the same thing that they had done with the girl, where they walk in and they're like, "Oh crap, he's our teacher."
Yeah, I know. Or yeah, and even with like so Mark, when they were like playing football on the beach,
Yeah.
that's a famous scene from the first one, but it wasn't football, it was volleyball.
Okay. Well, it's still a sexy scene, so it worked.
Yes, very
It was a
much so.
sexier scene.
I was just like, oh boy, I'm glad they're showing this to me before all the action, getting me
But
ready.
it was, and maybe this is like a I don't know, there's great action movies, but it was like that, you're telling me that these two were romantically involved. You're telling me that, Rooster has an issue with Maverick. You're telling me that Rooster and Hangman are in competition against each other. You're telling me that, but so it was like just telling me all these things, but not
Instead of showing, like
exactly, and not
letting it play out.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
in defense of that, I feel like because, dude, I didn't think jets could be that interesting, but dude, when they got into the planes, like my butthole was tight. I was like, oh baby. And then when they finally went on the mission, I was like, dang. Um, and when they talked about going into Coffin Lane, like I didn't really think about how, and they were like, oh yeah, there's gonna be Sam's or whatever. Bro, when they came out and they were just getting pinpointed, like that was I sat up, I was at the edge of the couch, and it's been a while since I've done that. I think I did that in the theater, and I don't even remember what movie it was, but it's been forever. And when the final scene finally happened, bro, I sat up and I was just like my hands were clenched into fists, and you know how I sweat, bro. I had puddles of sweat underneath my hands because they were up. I had my elbows on my knees. I'm leaning forward. I looked down, bro. There was puddles of sweat on the floor. Disgusting, I know, but that's just how focused and into it I was with those scenes, and
you talking about like when they were like passing out?
just all of
Or
it, bro.
okay.
Anytime they were
Or they
in the
took
jet.
the F-14.
Anytime they were in the jets, I was just like, "Oh man, it's all." But I'm talking about the last when they finally
Yeah.
actually did the mission. That one is when
Mhm.
I sat up and they finally, like, when they were going. I laughed when Tom Cruise did the the course, and of course he aced it beautifully. I was just laughing like, all right. I mean, we all knew he was going on this mission. I don't know
Mhm.
why they're trying to make it seem like he wasn't going. Um, so I thought that was funny, but it was just it was a badass way of doing it.
Yeah.
Obviously he's the best, and to go off what you said, I know your intros are. I know you work on those, but you said something that caught me off guard. You were like, "Oh, he hasn't been promoted because of his shenanigans." I don't think that's the case. I got the vibe that he only wanted to be a pilot. He didn't want to be anything else. So
Well, yeah. Yeah.
that's all he cared about.
Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah.
And I do think, yeah, he had his shenanigans, but it was because he's a pilot and that's all he knows and that's all he wants to do. Everything he was doing is so he could be in that seat, on that mission.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I can't argue with that. It's a valid point.
Though I do love throwing in shenanigans every time we can.
um, I was that ending. I thought, well, and I will say, like, I don't know, maybe I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I it did have me going a little bit. I was maybe kind of thinking, maybe he wasn't gonna go be on that mission, and whatever was gonna happen, and then so when he ended up, so I guess that was kind of fun because I was surprised by that
Really?
twist.
Really?
Bro,
Like
it's
it's
Tom
called
Cruise,
Top
man.
Gun Maverick.
It's a Tom Cruise movie, bro. You know he's
Yeah.
going on that mission.
It's not
Yeah,
called Maverick Sits Out.
I guess I should have, but I don't know. I I was surprised when he was
Maverick's
like,
Day Off.
"You're the team leader" or whatever.
Yeah.
I was surprised when he got shot down. I was like, oh, what's going on
Well,
here?
Yeah,
because
that was an interesting twist.
it could have been something like Rooster is team leader and they go and they get into trouble and then Maverick has to come in and so I just didn't presume to know like where it was going. So I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah.
And then dude, and then it really had me going when I was like, bro, are they gonna kill this guy?
Yes. I thought he was gonna die. I'm like, yo, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's gonna sacrifice, and he
You
did.
know,
And then he didn't.
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. It's a Tom
You,
Cruise movie.
you know, it's the only reason why I knew he was gonna die because Miles Teller said they discussed like a part 3, him and Tom Cruise, and I was like, oh, well, I know he doesn't die here.
Mhm.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, that's fun.
I really enjoyed the fact they did not bring Hangman because it was just evident
Yeah.
that this dude was not a team player.
Yeah.
And so I was like, there's no way you can bring someone like that into a mission.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
when that didn't happen, I was like, beautiful. And then when he had his little redemption arc, I said, oh, look at
Yeah.
Hangman. He still got to go and be a part of the boys and he saved the day. So now his ego's still inflated, but at least he did something good,
But
Yeah.
it's funny because I kept waiting. I was like, when's Hangman gonna save them? And I was like, oh, they're escaping. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, we're
really?
out of flares. I'm like, there, here he comes.
He's
I was
coming.
like, there he is.
No,
There he is.
I really was
But I was
not
happy for it
expecting
though.
that. I was not expecting. When that
Right.
popped, I'm like, oh, and then I see this guy, I'm like, oh, look at him.
Yeah.
No,
The man was sitting in a jet on the
I
aircraft
know,
carrier
but
waiting.
they told him no, so I figured, okay,
Yeah.
he's doing it.
He's no
Uh,
Maverick. He follows the rules.
yeah. But
And
yeah.
that's why he didn't go on that mission.
But no, I like that a lot. Just what you described, Mark. Because it made sense. It made
Yeah.
sense why they didn't let him go, even though he was clearly the best. And then, but then they still gave him like his little moment, which was
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
I thought that was very well done.
I like how all the actors and actresses, except for Jennifer Connelly, all have call names.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Bob.
And Bob.
So, well, I guess to give you some background, Mark. So, Val Kilmer.
Oh yeah.
So he was basically the character of Hangman was Val Kilmer in the
Yeah.
original
Yep. Mhm.
Iceman.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. I think that that was
Great movie.
a surprise that I was a big spoiler. Like I knew he was going to turn up at some point, but
Really, I was not expecting that at all.
yeah,
Because I figured with everything going on with him, he just wouldn't, just maybe didn't have the strength to do it. But man, when he popped up, I had a big old smile on my face. Um, it was awesome that they were making it known that the only reason this is happening is because of Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool. And he
Yeah.
kept saying like, I'm you this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, and I'm picking you, I picked you, like this is why you're here. And yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Another nice touch.
Now,
Yeah.
when he passed away, that did surprise me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I mean,
Ugh.
There
'cause
was
Well, I think
nothing.
it
There
was
was
to take his
nothing left
safety
to
net away.
type. There was nothing left to type.
the cursor was just blinking. Well, I don't, but it didn't do it didn't do anything for the story though. Like,
I know.
it didn't
Well,
motivate.
I
Did
think
it
what it did is
motivate
because
Maverick?
John Hamm was like, well, you know what, I'm taking over now, and your safety net's gone.
Yeah.
And then that's
But
what
he still
motivated
had the
Maverick
budget.
to no, but that's what motivated Maverick to go ahead and show that it can be done,
Yeah,
because the plan they were going to do was going to kill everyone.
yeah.
I
Dude.
mean, that's when, of course, he had to go. He's like, all right, you're
It's
going to
not that I was
lead
going
the
to kill
mission.
everyone. It's just that they didn't have anyone that could complete the course until Maverick stepped in and said,
Uh,
"Listen, I can complete it. Y'all just follow me." So it was the same plan. It's just that he
No,
was.
because they were going to go slower and they were going to go higher, so they would have been shot down.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, when he was going to
Yeah,
change it, I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah, my bad. My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, how good is John Hamm at playing a-holes? So good, man.
And I still find a way to still love him. I'm like,
I know.
he's just so
It's
right.
he's just too handsome.
Oh man. So be honest. Be honest. With me not seeing the first one, am I doing a disservice to Top Gun Maverick, or is it okay that I continue living my life without watching it?
I mean, I think I just think it's a great movie, so I would say watch it,
Who directed it?
Oh, they
Tony
did a
Scott.
tribute. Yeah, Tony Scott. They did a tribute to him at the end.
Wait, what? At the end of Maverick?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Well,
dedicated to.
they just said dedicated to Tony Scott.
Oh, all right.
But I mean, it is a great movie. Like, and it also has like great cinematography and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's
Jet
good.
scenes are just as good.
Oh
No, I
yeah.
mean not as good as this.
So
I mean these.
no, not as good, but they're pretty good.
No,
Like
but
they
at
do
least
hold up.
they
Yeah.
keep you interested. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, and like it is like for me, I think it's a really interesting movie because while there's like fighter jets and like all this stuff going, I really think that it's a movie about like Tom Cruise or his character learning how to grieve, because his best friend like died in this tragic accident.
yeah.
So I think it has really good dramatic elements. So, but speaking of dramatic elements, dude, I saw this Instagram post that had just a clip of Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise in that scene where where like Pete Mitchell, he starts to get like emotional, saying like, "I don't know how to let go." And they were like, "Is this Tom Cruise's year for the Oscar?" I was like, "Bro, you're not gonna get an Oscar for 2 minutes of emotion and 98 more minutes of just being Tom Cruise. That ain't gonna happen, bro."
This might be a silly question, but has he ever won like?
Not like best actor.
I don't know. I don't.
No way. Val Kilmer did better acting, and he didn't even talk. he had one line. He had one line.
But well, I mean, we can't say Tom Cruise is a. Are you trying to say he's a bad actor, or you're just saying
I think
Val
he. I
Kilmer
think he.
was
No.
just better?
No. I think Tom Cruise used to try. I don't think he needs to try anymore. He's just Tom Cruise in every movie. His character is the same, whether it's Mission Impossible or like he stopped trying to stretch himself as an actor. He doesn't need to. He's too big of a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's been
he
done.
hasn't
He's
done
done some
anything.
good movies.
No, I mean in the past, like that's what I'm saying. Like
Fuck yeah.
yeah, he could. I mean, and that's kind of like
Let's see. We have.
You got nominated for Jerry Maguire, Born on 4th July.
But those are all like early in his career. Now, look, we got his last couple movies. We got Maverick,
The 90s, yeah.
Mission Impossible,
Jack Reach.
Fallout, American Made. I didn't even see that. The Mummy. Oh my God, I forgot the Mummy remake.
I don't think it was called
Yeah.
The Mummy. Was it? Was it just
was
Mummy?
literally called The Mummy.
Oh,
The Mummy.
Was
Wow.
that technically a remake of the Brendan Fraser ones? No. it's
Yeah,
different.
I think they. Oh no, it's
But
not.
it's not a remake of that one. It was just it was their version of The Mummy. Just like it was worth missing.
No, but also like Vanilla Sky, Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, he did the
Tropic Thunder.
He did the Paul Thomas. Oh, Tropic Thunder, yeah.
That was great. Was he?
Yeah, but that was all like
But,
early 2000, man. Like. The
Yeah, I
Last
know.
Samurai.
But he's just doing sequels now.
Collateral.
One
Minority
thing
Report.
that I was very different from the original, and maybe it's just because of technology, but Minority Report is great. But like it was odd for me to see how some of the planes were flown in the traditional fashion by like the pilot and then the co-pilot behind him, and some like Rooster's plane, it was just him.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I thought.
You want to know why?
Why?
I read up on that.
Technology?
Because no. Like the reason why is like the scenes where you see Rooster in the plane and it's flying, it's really a two-seater and there's someone else flying in front of him, and they're filming him as the pilot flying a single one. On the far out ones, it's only a single shot. Well, just so they could get real shots of them flying like in jets inside.
But like in real life, is that accurate?
Yeah, there's single planes and there's two-seaters. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that's why they switched it to single seaters on this one, so they could actually have them inside with a real pilot. So when you see those G's, I think like they're really hitting that.
Yeah,
those jets.
I was gonna ask that because I know Tom Cruise is known for doing his own stunts. I was gonna ask, did he actually fly a jet? But no, he probably didn't.
No, he did.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
no, he did fly his. Like he has a jet pilot
Oh,
license.
So like
guy is an animal, bro.
like what I think is like when they show the close up in the cockpit, like he's actually flying it, but when they show from the exterior, like the crazy maneuvering, I don't think that's him.
Because I will say there was a part when he was doing his run where he was hitting those G's and you could see his face was sunken in. I'm like, yo, that looks real.
Yeah.
But I just thought, maybe it's just really good CGI.
Look,
Yeah.
But
But
even when the
also-
guy passed out, like that looked really good.
Yeah, but knowing what he's done in the past, I really couldn't like say 100%. Nah, he didn't do his own stunt.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. That guy, he's an animal, bro.
He had all the actors go through like a jet fighter boot camp for 3 months before the movie.
Oh,
So
really?
they could be prepared. Yeah, so they could be prepared to go in those jets.
I wonder how much G's they actually like real time experienced. Like what was the highest? Definitely wasn't 10.
Probably a string of G's.
I read I think 3 to 5 G's they were. Is what I read.
That's crazy.
But it seems to me like the pilot in the single ones is at a disadvantage. Because the guy with the co-pilot, he can ask like, "Hey, who's behind me?" And the other guy like looks back, you know.
Single, hey, who's behind? Oh, I'm by myself.
Oh, I'm dead. Yeah. What else? Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
Is she's up there in years now, but
the ageless wonder.
Man, she was an attractive woman in her younger years.
Even still so now.
Yeah.
I thought she was looking mighty fine, but
And I guess again, I did appreciate this, that it seemed like they paired Tom Cruise with a woman, his age, not, a 35 or 30-year-old.
Yeah, yeah. Understandable.
Oh, she's 51. Jennifer Connelly.
The more you know.
She's been married to the man Paul Bettany since 2003.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That I
Oh,
didn't
and it's a shame that you can't appreciate this, Mark, but I was waiting for it. And then as soon as those credits rolled and that bang, 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 bang,
So
bang,
good.
bang, bang, bang. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh no,
And then
yeah.
even the text and the font at the beginning, or actually it was the same exact text that when it says, there's this flight school in San Diego, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's the same thing from the first movie.
Oh, okay. All right. So it sounds like I'm gonna have to watch the first one.
Dude, I was like, how the heck is this guy gonna land this plane without without the
Oh,
front wheel?
have you guys ever seen like Hot Shots?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what
I
I
was
figured out.
thinking
Like
about that.
everything's gonna fall off. They're just gonna plop right down.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. That was hilarious.
Ah man. Well, yeah. I really enjoyed when they were in the jets. When Tom Cruise was doing the 2v1. No, not even. It was 4v1. They were 2-1, two and another, and he was going against
Yeah.
some. Yeah, man. Like those scenes are great. Stopping on a dime and going behind someone was pretty crazy. I don't know if you could
Yeah.
actually do that, if that's real, but it was cool to watch. But yeah, man, everything just came together for that last run, the mission. I
Mm.
feel like the movie just set up that mission perfectly, and it was just a nice way to end the movie. Yeah, it like I said, it's been a while since I've sat up, to watch something. It had me by the balls.
Mm.
That it did.
Any other thoughts, Kevin? Who did you
I know we.
who did you watch this one with?
Um,
Which one of the
I
12?
started off with Ava, Phoenix, and Harley, and they just passed out because we were watching it really late. They all slowly just slipped into the abyss.
They're really not a fan of Tom Cruise.
They really liked the first one, but even on this one, like I think when something was happening, it was like, he's gonna go on it. She's the one who said it's Top Gun Maverick. I was like, okay, baby, go to bed.
Thanks for ruining the movie. Go to bed.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like they enjoyed it. They think they saw it on Sunday. They finished it off. But what I wanted to say, because we touched on the beginning, which was low key but strong, but like that Mach 10 when he was flying, that was so beautifully done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like that when I was like, oh man, I wish I could be up there. That's nice.
Yeah.
And then of course he ruined it by just saying, let me keep going.
Well, I thought that was funny because as soon as Hondo said, hey man, we only need 10. Yeah, that was kind of like, oh, so yeah, he's definitely gonna push that.
Yeah.
So that was, I don't know. I feel like maybe because I knew it was a Tom Cruise movie, everything they were foreshadowing, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. There was really
Well, you knew it was going to, but it was still like heartbreaking to see like, and that's who he is. That's how he cost himself everything. Because hey, you've done great, but let me keep pushing it a little bit more. Now you pushed it. Yeah, just couldn't leave it alone, Maverick.
But is it really costing him anything? Because he still, is continuing to do what he wants to do.
Well, he did, but that's only because of Iceman.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Iceman protected him. Because I think that's where like you watching the first one would be beneficial. Because like they didn't like each other and how they grew to have respect for each other, and then it just you see, oh wow, this guy's been looking out for him the whole time. He knows what he's capable of.
Oh, so they are kind of setting it up for another one, and maybe just having the younger, crew take over.
The younger guys.
Because
Hangman.
Yeah, because Hangman, ended up redeeming himself, and he's not a total jack off, So there's that. So yeah, maybe they are gonna have another one. We're gonna get a whole slew of Top Gun movies.
Even when Iceman was hugging him, he's like, "Just admit I was a better pilot." He's like, "We were having such a nice moment. Don't ruin it."
I think I read that in the next one they're introducing 2 new characters, Dayman and Nightman.
Nightman.
But
Fighter rooms.
but I was gonna say that him going over 10, led to that great scene where he walks into that diner and looking like whatchamacallit, an astronaut. And he's
Where
like,
am I?
where am I? That kid's like Earth.
Earth.
Um, but it wasn't without its also its dose of cheesiness. Like during that football game when John Hamm walks out there in his uniform and he's all ticked off and he's like, "What is this? This isn't training." And he's like, "You asked me to put a team together. Here's your team."
Well, damn, he's got me there. Guess I'll turn around and walk right back to where I came from.
Yeah.
No, there was plenty of those. I mean, even the whole throwing him out of the bar and him walking up, it was just like, oh yeah, okay. All that stuff was just are part of the just the atmosphere of the movie. But I
Yeah.
feel like that's what they did in the first one, and they were just keeping that going. There's those same cheesy scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also it's really been crazy to me because I mean at least it doesn't seem to me like it was still that long ago that like everyone pretty much hated Tom Cruise. I mean, there was the Scientology stuff, there was the Katie what's her face,
Katie Holmes, the fourth.
Katie, what's her face?
the Katie
Wow,
the whole
have you turned on her?
Katie Holmes stuff, and like people did not like him for a
Yeah.
very long time, and then a few crazy stunts in Mission Impossible, and then rehashing Maverick, and now it's like the guy can do no wrong.
Well, I think he stopped doing interviews, really, didn't he?
Well,
I
yeah,
don't see
that's
him
what I was
much.
gonna say. Is like he also seems like he laid low, although he did have that freak out during COVID on the set that was recorded,
Yeah, but that wasn't like an interview.
and he
Yeah,
had he had gotten like robots to like roam around the set testing people.
See, here's the thing about that. Like when I watched that video, I wasn't really mad about it. You know why? Because this guy, he puts food on his table by recording by filming these movies, right? Then you got some guy who, just is a part of this process. And yeah, there might be some stupid rules that he's got to follow, but hey, you're in a multi-million-dollar movie, just do it. You're getting paid pretty well, and you're still just like, yeah, I don't know. I was just like, for me, I'm like, you know what? I'm getting paid to be here. If I didn't want to do this, I'd just go somewhere else. But I'm here. I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I didn't feel like he was that much of a jerk about it. Because
Well,
he was,
If you go to someone else's house, you follow their rules.
yeah, and he was voicing
describe the
how.
video. Describe the video to us, because you're just talking about this video, but we haven't all seen it.
Oh, you haven't? No.
I mean,
Yeah, no.
I just heard an audio clip.
Yeah, so he's going off. I mean, you
But
see
do you
him.
see like what led to that?
No, of course not. They don't. They never pull that up. I take it with a grain of salt. I since they're only giving me so much, I have to form my own opinion because no, they don't show anything leading up to it. They just literally say, "Hey, when this started recording, it's because people
Yeah.
weren't following the mask mandates. They were, not wearing masks, and this is what we got into it." And it's like, well, I get it because if this dude gets his movie shut down because people just don't want to follow the rules, I get it. The masks were stupid. I completely understand that, but it's like you got a job to do. This is, what's putting money in the bank for you. If you're against it, then you got to go do something else. Don't start affecting other people, because now you're affecting other people's jobs and other people's money flow. And that's kind of how I looked at it because for me, like, I want to make sure that If I'm here to do a job and get paid, I want to make sure that everybody else is here to do a job and get paid as well, because this is what
Yeah.
we need to live off of. So that's kind of how I took it. He wasn't saying anything disrespectful. He didn't say anything vulgar. He was just like, listen, this is what we need to do. Y'all are not doing it. If you're not going to do it, then go somewhere else. And I respected that. I
Yeah.
was A-okay with that.
Well, I don't know if I'd say I respected that, but no, like my point is like that. When that happened again, like the headline was almost like, oh boy, here's
Yeah.
crazy Tom Cruise
Yeah. Yeah.
again, and it
Well, his
almost
reputation precedes him.
right, and so you almost got it. You almost got the sense that he's probably yelling at some key grip that just dropped his mask to like scratch his nose for a second. So
That
context matters.
that 100% could have been
But
the case. 100%.
like my point is that even that recently, he still had the stigma of like crazy Tom,
Yeah.
and it's like in a matter of a year or two now he's like the people's champion again. It's
I,
great.
maybe. I don't know if he's. I just feel like he just puts out the same movie, and we are content with those movies. So it's just like, oh man, he did something dumb, but man, that was a really good movie.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like, whatever, dude. I mean, real talk. Anytime I see Mission Impossible, I'm like, ooh, I will be there. You know. Um, now I can't say that. He's not a household name for me. I was gonna say if I see Tom Cruise, I'm usually part of it, but no, I'm not, because I'm looking at his list. I only watched Top Gun because of this podcast. Um, I saw Mission Impossible on my own. I saw Mission Impossible Rogue Nation on my own. Edge of Tomorrow, Oblivion, Mission Impossible,
And I
Tropic
didn't know this had
Thunder.
the same director as Oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tropic Thunder, Mission Impossible, War of the Worlds, Collateral, Last Samurai, Minority Report, Mission Impossible, Vanilla Sky, Magnolia, Eyes Wide Shut, Mission Impossible, and that was it. I think that's yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay. Here's a confession. I was really thinking about this. Sometimes I like to think about like actors and go, what was the first movie I saw him in? And 100%, I was like, Tom Cruise was not introduced to me until he was Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible. And I'm
Really?
looking at it, I'm like, yo, he had Interview the Vampire, I did not watch. The Firm, did not watch. A Few Good Men, did not watch. Days of Thunder, did not watch. Rain Man, did not watch. Color of Money, Top Gun, did not watch. Risky Business,
Dude,
did not watch.
Cocktail.
Cocktail, did not watch. Dude, none of those I did not watch.
You've seen Legend.
No, I've never seen Legend.
Or what's the
Really?
isn't he in the vampire
Is it
one?
is
That's
Legend the one
Interview
that
with a
has
Vampire.
Willow?
No, not Interview
Willow?
with the Vampire, like the one from
What?
the 80s.
No, Lost Boys?
Yeah,
No, he's not in that.
uh,
Keith Ursello in this.
but he's in another
But
one, The
he's
Outsider. Maybe?
The Outsiders, yeah.
Yeah,
But
The
Legend
Outsider.
has the
Ooh,
last unicorns getting killed, and
I've seen Legend. It's a weird movie,
I've never seen Outsiders.
dude.
Yeah, so I
For
like
some
a lot
reason,
of
like
these movies.
a lot of these movies. What? No, what
no,
were you saying, Mark?
I was gonna say that
Well, no, Juan was
Oh,
saying a lot of these movies.
I for some reason, no, you were saying a lot of these movies. I was saying something else.
Oh, my bad. Okay, maybe I'm just lagging behind. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I was just thinking like, man, that's when. So for me, Tom Cruise is Mission Impossible. So like, that's just. I think after. I don't know. I think after Tropic Thunder, he just became Mission Impossible for me. And I mean, Edge of Tomorrow just felt like Mission Impossible. Oblivion felt like Mission Impossible. Jack Reacher felt like Mission
Hmm.
Impossible.
Yeah,
Um, so like and that's kind of when I got into Tom Cruise. Tropic Thunder was great, and I was so surprised to see him in that role, and he just he did it so beautifully, But War of the Worlds, it just same thing. Collateral was pretty good though. Collateral was different. That didn't feel like a Mission Impossible movie. That was nice and gritty and grainy. I love that one. And then you have The Last Samurai. But anyways, like it just Tom Cruise he has officially become a staple for a Tom Cruise movie. Um, and I think you nailed that, Juan. He's just
Yeah, I mean,
no, we can't
there are
say that.
just
You know why?
there are just actors that are like they're just superstars, and so you don't really pay so much to see them. They're not Daniel Day Lewis. You're paying to see them. Be superstars.
But here's the thing. Yes, Daniel Day-Lewis can still act his behind off, but he's not scaling the tallest building in Abu Dhabi. He's not taking a plane that's being sent up into thousands of altitude and hanging onto it from the side of it. Like, he might not be acting like he used to, but he's doing different things like these
Yeah,
stunts
for
and
sure.
making sure that, you know, where CGI isn't completely taking over everything. Because Marvel, I mean, bro, Marvel movie, you could say 80% of it's CGI, you
Yeah,
know. And I think that's why we look at Tom Cruise movies like, man, that was good. I enjoyed that because it didn't feel, I guess, fake.
yeah,
It was like, man, that was awesome. Like seeing his face pressed down, I was like, yo, I think he's really flying that. And to me, that was just like, dang, that's crazy that he's really filming this.
yeah,
And the fact that I don't even know how they film that. How do you film a pilot flying that fast in a jet? How are you filming the jet?
yeah.
Anyways, that's for another time. But
No, that's a great point. That's a great point.
so yeah, give his eyes wide shut anymore. But I mean, dude, he's still making money.
Well, he's also one of those guys that he's probably gonna be making movies till he drops dead. So maybe as he gets older and he can't do the stunts anymore, he might go back to acting,
Well,
challenging with acting. Maybe.
is it safe to say that maybe Tom Cruise is living out the real life of Pete Mitchell?
Dude, he is on a highway to the danger zone. Keeps pushing the envelope. But what I was gonna say real quick is that I kind of grew up watching the movie Days of Thunder,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, dude, it makes no sense that that I would like a movie about NASCAR. Um, and I also really very recently I understood nothing about that movie as a kid. Uh, I was like, wow, this character's going that? Like, I never knew.
You just like the cars.
Ah,
Yeah.
vroom, baby, vroom, vroom.
And also, we cannot have a Tom Cruise in acting as perhaps a final exclamation point without saying, dude, Rain Man.
I've never seen it.
I
Kevin,
swore you were gonna say Austin. I thought you were gonna say Austin Powers in Goldmember,
oh, that's great.
I don't
but
remember him in that movie. I saw that. I went, man, I don't remember that. I gotta watch that again.
That was in,
he's in
I think the second one, or oh no, it
no
was
the third
No,
one.
it was the not strongest of the bunch.
yeah,
But he's in the opening where they're making an Austin Power movie, so he plays Austin Powers in the
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I gotta watch that again.
And
Yes,
Kevin
baby.
Spacey plays Doctor Evil.
Ooh, maybe I don't want to watch it anymore then.
But yeah. But Rain Man's great, man. Rain Man, Born on the 4th of July, Cocktail, Color of Money, all of them are fantastic.
Never seen. Well,
You should. Risky
Yeah,
Business,
that's the thing.
Outsiders.
Like, I like even when I'm at home, I like experiencing movies with other people. So the reason why I enjoy this podcast is while I'm watching movies by myself, I know eventually I'm going to talk about them. if we weren't doing this podcast, I would only be watching these movies with other people by my side. I don't know why, but that's just how I am. Like, I can't go to the movies by myself, even though during the whole movie you're not talking. But I don't know, just for me, I'm very emotional during the movie. Like if something happens, I'll go, oh, like I'll be into it. And if something happens, there's times where I'm the only person laughing in the damn theater. Like something funny happens, and I'm like, I'm slapping my leg, like, oh man, that was funny. And there ain't a peep from anybody else, you know. Um, and that's how I am in the movies. But I do that only when there's people with me. I think I've been to the movies by myself twice, and I remember laughing, looking over to the seat next to me, like I'm a loser. I'm here by myself, you know. Um, so it's nice to do this podcast, but I feel like there's a lot of movies that I wouldn't watch, you know, by myself because there's just there you got to talk about things, you know. You gotta let's digest this movie together. And so I don't know. I'm going on a rant right now, but um, it was nice to watch this and then be able to talk about it because I feel like if I would have watched this by myself, I just would have been like, whatever, another Tom Cruise movies. But there's layers there, you know, and hearing the fact that they glossed over the love interest in this one is just an interesting, and I'm wondering why they did that, you know. Um, but anyways, I'm sorry, I'm just on a rant right now. I'm just going.
That's all right. But yeah, perhaps enough talking at this point. So, Kevin, if you are ready,
They told me to shut up.
would you want to start our ratings?
I would. I would. First of all, I too enjoy watching these movies with you. I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. Great callbacks. Some fun action. That's. I think people should watch it. Like I said, like I'm definitely gonna watch it again. Like it was entertaining. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
2.5.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I agree. It was great to kind of have a satisfying sequel to a movie that is very beloved for me. So, and yeah, although again it had its flaws, it was enjoyable, exciting, thrilling, and entertaining, which is ultimately what you want a movie to be. So for me, it is also a 2.5.
Wow. Look at you guys in sync there. Well, yeah, I'm gonna completely break that syncness you got there. Um, I can't. I mean, I can't not give. That's a double negative. I I have to give a movie that grabs me by the balls. Three Little Jerry's.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, as a whole, the movie no is not perfect, but just everything that happens just led up perfectly, and it just really made me enjoy the end of the movie. And I felt like the story of Top Gun Maverick was told and it ended, and it was just a nice slice of pie. And it's one that you can just revisit whenever. You know, you don't need to have anything else going with it. You can just be like, you know what? I just want to watch some nice dogfights in the air. Boom, Top Gun Maverick. And that's again because I haven't seen the first Top Gun. Maybe the dogfights in that one are better, and you'll say, oh, I prefer that one. That's fine. I'm talking Top Gun Maverick. I mean, it yeah, again, it's been a while since a movie has caused me to like physically get up and go, oh baby, here we go. And yeah, this movie did that. So I have to give it Three Little Jerry's.
Mm. I respect that and I appreciate it. And my only question is, so
I
for
don't agree with you.
you, does it make you, intrigued to watch the first one, or or are you more like, well, I don't want to ruin, this one, by maybe going back to watch the first one and being disappointed?
I'm gonna be completely honest by saying that I feel like Top Gun Maverick did enough to be a standalone movie that I can rest easy with never watching Top Gun and being okay.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah, that's
All
where
right.
I'm at. Not against it, but I'm not gonna actively put it on.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. No issue. No issue with that.
I
Um.
appreciate that, gentlemen.
All right. Well, this
No
has
pitchforks
been.
Oh,
down.
interesting little note, by the way, that I was going to bring up here
Ooh,
at the end.
another one from the list. I love it.
No, this is the second podcast in a row that we reviewed a sequel that came out 30 years after the original.
All right. Are
So,
you gonna ask me what the other one was? Because I don't remember.
no, the other
Right.
one was Prey.
Well, that was a
Oh, Prey.
prequel, though.
Yeah, that was
No,
technically
but
a prequel.
well, it was a follow. I'm sorry, a follow up to
A
a movie that came out 30 years
continuation
ago.
in the story.
Words
Yes.
matter, Kevin. Words
Listen,
matter.
you don't want to know the words I want to say right now.
You're not woke enough to be here. Get
I don't
out.
know. I'm pretty awake right now.
Mm. Well, yeah. Um, all right. This was fun.
All right. With that, I guess it's time to say adieu.
Well, you said it.
I'm out.
Love you.
Love you, fellas.
Peace.